Hello, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History of Comics Book Podcast. This time with another edition of the classics with Batman, The Black Mirror by Scott Snyder, Jock and Francesco Francavilla, which was the original story from Detective Comics number 871 to 881 that took place right before the New 52 relaunch, and also significant because it also features Scott Snyder's first work on Batman as he was eventually going into the Batman series with the New 52 relaunch as well of all the DC comics. Of course, published back in 2011 before this all happened. And what's great about this story is it's a different take on Batman. For one thing, this takes place right after Final Crisis, but as you know, due to the events, Dick Grayson is taking up the mantle of Batman and is having to deal with someone dealing in supervillain weaponry, while also James Gordon Jr., the excommunicated son of Commissioner Jim Gordon, and of course, his brother Barbara Gordon has shown up again, and not with the most nefarious of plans. This is a great series that really it's kind of a different take on Batman, of course, but Dick Grayson doesn't try to be Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne is, in many ways, he is the Batman, but Dick Grayson is an interesting take. He's more lighthearted, has more humor to him, and there's fun interactions with him and Robin, especially Tim Drake, about how his line drops out, and there's no way this line can drop out. We made it. It's perfect. And it's funny, almost like an older brother, younger brother dynamic and so forth like that, but still some great storytelling. And Jock and Francesco Franciavilla's artwork is gorgeous and creepy. And remember, Scott Snyder, Jock and Francesco Francavilla, they originally did work on the classic American Vampire series, where they both started making their big names. And just gorgeous art, and to translate perfectly here, it has a great Norris feel to it. The Killer Croc in particular just looks creepy and savage, and overall, yeah, this is a kind of a forgotten story because it like I said, it took place right before that New 52 reboot that reset everything. And of course, it's a bit where Dick Grayson was Batman, and while we're all glad that Bruce Wayne's back being Batman, it's nice to see different takes on him, and Dick Grayson was definitely a bit of a highlight for there. So yeah, if you wanted to look at a different Batman story and something of a forgotten classic, check out Batman, The Black Mirror. That, in my humble opinion, is a true classic. And now it is August 27, 2020, time for the favorite comic of the week. Batman, Three Jokers by Jeff Johns and Jason Fallbuck, which finally gets around to that long-gestating mystery that we learned back in Justice League Darkseid when Batman got tasked to Metron's chair and tried to finally ask a question, what is the Joker's real identity? And the chair replied back, which one? There are three Jokers. And of course, we go, what the heck happened? And sure enough, this one addresses the story head on as Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood team up to finally take on these three Jokers. As it becomes apparent that all three of them are working together, and they're going to finally get to the bottom of what is going on and how there are three Jokers and not just one. Jeff Johns does a great job setting up all the characters. I mean, there's a great opening scene where you introduce Batman, Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and of course Jason Todd, Red Hood, and you see the scars, and particularly you see the scars that the Joker has given all three of them in different ways, and how he's traumatized all of them, and how they all have their own agenda against the Joker, and while they're trying to go after him, especially now they discover there's three of them, and how they're going to deal with that. And it's matched perfectly by Jason Fabok's gritty and nicely detailed artwork. He does a great job, especially when you see the three Jokers together. They all look a little different because, as it's described, as the criminal, the clown, and the comedian, and they all have a different subtle look where you can actually tell them apart. You could tell, oh, this Joker is during this part, this Joker is during this part, and so forth. But yeah, so far this is it's actually made any classic mystery story in the first issue, especially. It gets you hooked. You go, what is going on here? How are there three Jokers, and what's happening now? But also there's literally a killer cliffhanger. Can't wait to get for the next issue. So definitely, check out Batman, Three Jokers. That's my favorite comic so far. I've been waiting for this one a long time. And I guess keeping up with the overall DC theme of this week. Last weekend we had the DC Fandom event online where they showed off a bunch of new video games and movies that are coming out. Of course, they finally showed the Batman trailer with Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne Batman. It looks pretty good so far, yeah. And also, they only shot 25%, so a lot of work to do. And I know some people have a problem with Pattinson being a former sparkly vampire, but by all accounts, he's actually a pretty good actor. And I'm pretty excited about this. Let's see where it goes. And of course, they showed a promotional trailer for the Suicide Squad by James Gunn, and they revealed that Idris Elba's playing Bloodsport and so forth. And that kind of got me excited again because, well, I'm on the record as hating the original Suicide Squad. That movie is just horrible. It made me want to take a shower afterwards. It was so bad. And I went to a charity screening. My money went to wounded warriors who served in foreign wars, and I still wanted my money back. It was ridiculous. That's how bad I think that movie is. But the funny thing is, they also released a trailer for Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League video game. And I'll be honest, the cinematic trailer they showed, those 4 minutes were better than the entire Suicide Squad movie for 2016. So, yeah. Yeah, I've always liked the concept of Suicide Squad when it's done right. It was not done right in 2016, but if they could pull it off both the video game and the movie, that looks exciting. And, of course, we got news about Black Adam, Wonder Woman coming up pretty soon and so forth. So, yeah, it's all online, so if you can check out the DC fandom thing, definitely worth watching if you're still having to self-quarantine. And, of course, when you're self-quarantining or having to stay home, comic books are a great read as well. Go out and enjoy a few good ones. And I just mentioned them. Check out Batman the Black Mirror, a great trade wherever you can get it. And, of course, Batman 3 Jokers. And once again, with the Batman the Black Mirror, definitely check that out because that, in my humble opinion, is a true classic.